Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, there's no trickery here. I'm just an ordinary bee. And as a bee, honey's pretty...
Oh, I wish he would dress like that all the time. So nice.
Call your first witness.
Pretty big company you have there.
I suppose so.
And I see you also own Honeyburton.
No.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
No?
No.
Well, they're very lovable creatures. Yogi Bear, Fozzie Bear, Build-A-Bear?
Yeah, you mean like this? Bears kill bees! Have you ever been stung, Mr. Sting? Because I'm feeling a little stung, Sting. Or should I say, Mr. Gordon M. Sumner?
Not his real name, you idiot!
Mr. Liotta, first may I offer my belated congratulations on your Emmy win for a guest spot on ER in 2005.
Thank you. Why doesn't someone just step on this little creep and we can all go home?
Order in this
You're all
courtroom.
thinking it.
Visitors that its sun bears are real and not humans in disguise. I honestly don't. I mean, I honestly feel like it's a human in disguise, but I'll take their word for it. It comes after a video of this animal like a literal person.
A sexual assault lawsuit that was filed against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. There's a physical abuse in her lawsuit on Friday, but only a day after the suit was resolved.
From the complaint, it seems like this is bigger than just what happened between the two of them, which is important because I think the Adult Survivors Act is due to expire. That was filed, that had just been settled. So there's going to be a lot of concerns there that if you file a complaint and then you have to file an answer, you're going to have to make certain statements that might be able to be used against you. You may have waiver arguments if there's a criminal investigation. And if there's things out there about sex trafficking, things of that nature, you know, it's a much more serious issue than just this lawsuit.
Exactly, Bob. You're raising some excellent points here. And Ron, that's kind of what I want to ask you about. This is a civil case. It was resolved. Could Diddy still face some criminal charges? I mean, the allegations were, frankly, quite serious.
Absolutely, it's 100% possible. A civil settlement does not in any way, make him immune from criminal liability. The thing that a civil settlement would kind of help, Diddy would be that Cassie or Ms. Ventura can't voluntarily go and do things now. That doesn't prevent her from telling the truth if she's compelled by law. But I don't think if there is criminal liability on the horizon, this really doesn't help him that much. What it does is it prevents him from saying something under the power of a deposition, right? It prevents him from doing that. He would have to, he doesn't have to go through the exercise like I take the fifth, because that just doesn't help anyone in the civil context. So it kind of put things to rest, but I don't know if it put things to bed.
Well, that's exactly right. And we've heard some reports, Bob, that in fact there might be others out there who have similar claims. They could either bring civil suits, or in fact they could actually be a part of a criminal trial that could be brought.
Well, and what's interesting is in the remarks, which really by the defendant,
Seriously, girls and she you like I think this is girls woman was say was see this do serves the way say well this is 5 weeks and I'm well over next that long nurse now must say about me has
In December 2017, despite a wealth of scientific evidence to the contrary, the British Columbia government moved to ban all grizzly bear hunting.
Which were very personal to the plaintiff, which sort of said almost like, I'm sorry, or I wish you well.
Just wait here.
His lawyer had to walk those back a little bit and said, let's make something clear here, that by settling this case, we're not admitting liability, and we haven't backtracked at all from denying, that these allegations actually occurred. So I think that, it's almost that situation, stay tuned.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I was thinking about, Ron, is the fact that at the end of the statement that Diddy made, he actually used the word love.
Yeah.
Civil suit is concerned, but can that hold up in the criminal trial? No, right?
Well, it wouldn't hold up in the criminal trial. I mean, the people, the U.S. government, wherever this case winds up, they have the right to prosecute those cases. The NDAs, where they are even enforceable, and they're starting to be, people are being released from.
I would like to just get to know you. Ha 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 ha. Quiet.
Those. Certainly in some states, like New Jersey, for instance, you can't even enter one of those. If you're a victim, you can't bind that victim.
How many of you were born in Astoria?
Again, if this goes to another arena,
raise your hands.
It's probably not going to have any impact at all.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's interesting what is happening to NDAs now, particularly obviously in the civil arena. Ron, how do you think this is going to affect Diddy's music career, if at all? I mean, it should have some impact. We did see, obviously.
Yes.
I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay, you can go.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Though China is denying that a bear at a zoo is actually a human in a costume. Questions arose after video went viral showing a bear standing and seemingly begging for treats. And it's easy to see why people think this is not a bear. His backside looks to be an ill-fitting costume. He appears to be wearing Birkenstocks. And he's standing on his hind legs like, what's the deal with captivity? Zoo officials would not answer questions when asked if their bears were real, but did invite reporters to the park to see for themselves. China has been accused of making large dogs look like wolves, or donkeys look like zebras, or surveillance look like social media. But in an insane twist, these might actually be real bears. They're called Malaysian sun bears, who apparently are known for looking like dudes who used to be in emo bands.
Tonight is the 2-month anniversary of the Sweat Lodge ceremony inside of this makeshift structure in Sedona, Arizona, in which 3 people died.
Is this a result of a shooting or something?
No, it was a sweat lodge.
A sweat lodge?
Yes.
Okay.
A ceremony led by New Age guru James Ray.
There's at least one area of your life where you know you deserve more.
A disaster and a falling from grace that has focused a harsh spotlight on the $11 billion a year unregulated self-help industry. Since the deaths, we've heard very little from any of the survivors or from James Ray himself. But now, an exclusive interview with this former James Ray employee, Melinda Martin, who knows the inner workings of Ray's secretive and lucrative organization, and who was on the scene at the Sweat Lodge.
The paramedics arrived and they came. The guy's like, what happened here? Is this like a mass suicide? He said to me. And I said, no, it was a sweat lodge gone wrong.
So the first responder says to you, is this a mass suicide?
Yeah.
That's how bad the scene looked.
Yes.
Martin, who's a former real estate agent, took a job with James Ray International about a year ago after listening to some of his motivational tapes.
Let's use this metaphor. If you think about Aladdin and his lamp, you've probably heard of that one.
His message, featured in the best-selling book and DVD, The Secret, that you can get whatever you want through the power of your thoughts.
Today, we were supposed to find out if polar bears would be an endangered species, but the feds missed the deadline. While 3 environmental groups say they will now sue, state officials are pleased, saying this will lead to a more informed decision.
Flas me her som är med froser varför vad inne med för det efter för sadness. Sen det var flas det ligger nog i your ni live väl inne. Jag abstra har sig gå så här. Ser mer från off and it has it.
Versus do you on you Fowler's very no see listen.
Ja, som är du ruck det un jag blir in om resa.
Hej, snäll Elsa. Snäll Elsa där. Jag måste ju
Ja, het loopt niet meer stonen. En als en ooit de sneeuwschaars fish games, het was niet, maar het is wel outside waar je serven het nou moest. Dat zie je.